The stories surrounding Grandpa Records are quite crazy and heartbreaking.
Mwaf. Fuck Refigah, man. Refigah, man. Refigah, fuck you, man. Like for real. G like that, man.
Grandpa ilikuwa label kubwa, and then kuna tu some things zenye zili happen, unapata management ndio haikuwa poa, unaona.
Running a stable in Kenya is one of the hardest things to do. Because the moment you sign an artist, umekuwa baba yake, umekuwa mama yake. Yani ni kama tu immediate, ni kama tu umekatia dem Nairobi.
There's a lot of stories to cover, like what happened to 𝙏𝙗𝙖? Is Dogo Biggie still roaming the streets of Kisumu? Why did Grandpa Records stop making hits? But let us first go way back and find out why Grandpa Records was the biggest record label in Kenya.
Like, I'm just asking, you guys wrote
Fimbo imechapa. You see,
Hiyo fimbo inachapa watu industry wise.
Are you sure?
Yes, industry wise.
As mentioned, Grandpa Records was one of the biggest music label in Kenya in 2013. In fact, it was once labeled the largest in East and Central Africa. This was before Diamond even had Wasafi. Grandpa Records revived the Kenyan music industry and gave Kenyans new hit songs almost every week. However, constant conflicts with their artists made some of the artists to leave the label, and others just left under unclear circumstances. The label had artists like DNA, Kendrazy, 𝙏𝙗𝙖, Pizzo Dizzo, Majirani, Sosun, Ngangalito, Dogo Biggie. The artists are too many to mention. It was like a school of artists. The success of Grandpa Records did not happen by miracles. It was made possible by one man called Refigah, who had deep musical knowledge and connections cutting across Africa. Refigah, or Noah Yusuf, was known for his signature walking stick, or we knew it as Fimbo. When he was coming up, social media was not that dominant like today, and artists had to depend on record labels to push their music. So Refigah curated a good plan to help artists push their music, and in 2009 he started Grandpa Records, a label that kickstarted the music careers of many artists in Kenya. Initially, Refigah was an artist, and it is said that he was the first African artist to join YouTube in 2006.
Oh, Jeff, did you know? I'm the first artist to be on YouTube in Africa.
What?
Yes. Kimbelembele yangu ilinifikisha huko.
Tell us how. And those days, how were people uploading on YouTube? You send your video to San Francisco?
Yeah, no way. You see, I'm this kind of a person, like, when there's an opportunity or there's something new, I always want to try it out. So when I had this YouTube, I wanted to try it out. I tried out. I did not know I was the first one till last year. That's when I knew.
And if you don't believe it, this is proof. He posted this song called Kadumala in 2006 when YouTube was still new. It was not a perfect song, but we understand it was 2006 and Mr. Nice was also making such kind of songs. Anyway, when Refigah started Grandpa Records in 2009, Grandpa Records was located in the outskirts of Kibera, and this was to become the biggest record label and also home to the finest artists in Africa. Refigah's focus was on music, production, and management, and his strategies worked. According to DNA, who was also part of Grandpa Records, he worked with Refigah because he knew he was the man who was good at distribution. And Refigah was indeed a magician, because Maswali ya Polisi became an instant hit.
Tumemaliza Maswali ya Polisi, tumeshoot video Kibera. Then Ref of course sasa amecall watu wake.
Refigah did not just make Maswali ya Polisi a big hit. Almost every club, radio station, brothel, matatu was playing songs from Grandpa Records. Contrary to what some may say or think, Grandpa Records was not a one-hit wonder. This record label was on fire in the year 2013 up until 2015. It was churning out big hits with their Kapuka club sound. One of their biggest songs at the time was this song called Fimbo ya Pili, Fimbo Chapa, that featured several artists. After its success, Grandpa Records decided to release another song called Fimbo ya Tatu, Dawa ya Moto, which now featured new as well as established artists like 𝙏𝙝𝙖, 𝙤𝙤𝙧, 𝙒𝙖𝙪, 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙪, Sosun, Chief Moses, and Bien from Sauti Sol. Another hit song is this track Kamua Leo, which was a remix of the song Twajichanganya Kamua Leo by Coast Star Kiddies. In the remix now, other artists jumped in like DNA, 𝙒𝙖𝙧, and Amilina. The delivery by all artists was short and punchy, and the dancers also did a good job. Despite the fact that the song was big, the allegations that Kiddies did not make a single coin from the track. Other big songs that were produced by the label was Quality Kaa Hizo by Pizodizo, Mapepo by Visita, Tempo by Dufla Diligon, Bilikimo Mkora by 𝙏𝙗𝙧, Tukumbukeko by Majirani, and many other hit songs. After dominating the Kenyan music industry for quite some time, artists began deserting the stable, and some artists' lives changed for the worst. The once big record label was scrambling to get attention, and the Fimbo was not caning anymore. Way back in 2014, the allegations that the stable's management was extorting and exploiting artists. One of those artists is Dogo Biggie, an orphan and a young artist who featured in the song Chapa Fimbo ya Pili. This was not the only song Dogo did. He also had other songs like Pesa and Moyo Wangu. Dogo Biggie was spotted by a journalist called Joab Mwaura, who took him to Grandpa Records to record his song Moyo Wangu. Despite the success of the song, Dogo Biggie did not enjoy his time at Grandpa Records. He came out claiming how the stable was underpaying his artists and threatening them. He went on to call Refigah a liar, as Refigah made a statement saying that his sponsor Joab was using the boy to solicit for money from well-wishers. Refigah also claimed that he had an artist who was ready to pay for Dogo Biggie's school fees, but Dogo refuted the claims and said Refigah never offered to take him to school, and added that he was the one paying for the school fees with money from shows and a little help from Joab. In the same year, Kiddies was the first artist to ditch the record label after a bitter fallout with the owner of the label, and in 2018, he gave out details of what happened during his stay at Grandpa Records at an interview on the 10 over 10 show.
You started out with Grandpa Records,
usitaje Grandpa.
No, I have to ask the question.
It's no more.
Because a lot of people have left.
Yeah.
𝙏𝙗𝙧, 𝙤𝙤𝙧. I mean, there's been like an exodus. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
Sasa ni kwamba tulikuwa tunapewa chai bila sukari pale. Shida tupu. Yaani ulikuwa unapewa chai. Unaona? Bwana chai ya rangi inakuwaga chungu, si ndio? Ikiwekwa sukari inakuwa imeevaporate. Kwa hivyo Grandpa Records nilikuwa napewa chai bila sukari. Sawa bana. Now, I was the first to withdraw myself from that record label. I was the first. Kwa sababu I've been in this industry for more than 16 good years, since 2002. So niliona mbali, nikatoka, waliobaki wakasema Mswahili wa Mombasa ana njaa. Wao wakatoka, wakanipigia. Nikamwambia bro vipi? Uliniambia nina njaa. What's wrong with you bro? Umepewa ile chai nilipewa? Welcome to Uraiani.
DNA also ditched Grandpa Records under unclear circumstances. In an interview with Willy Mtuva, DNA revealed that he wanted to go solo. Grandpa CEO Refigah said that DNA was not interested in renewing his contract, but his songs were still going to be released as per the contract. Another storm hit the stable in 2015, when Majirani came out claiming he has never made a penny from his song Hivyo Ndo Kunaendanga, and the song even featured 𝙏𝙗𝙧 and Visita. In response, Refigah emailed scanned copies of an agreement between Majirani and the stable, showing that actually the proceeds from the song were to be shared on a 50-50 basis between the label and the singer. According to Refigah, Majirani's beef is that people acknowledged 𝙏𝙗𝙧 and Visita more, and that's why he was bitter. Majirani would later apologize via his Facebook page and even saying that he respects Refigah because he made him to be majirani. He would later drop another song called Tukumbukeko. Grandpa Records continued facing more and more troubles as 𝙏𝙗𝙖 and 𝙏𝙤𝙧 and So Soon also left the record label, and they went ahead to do a diss track called Toroka, which was a diss song to Grandpa Records, as 𝙏𝙤𝙧 is heard saying huko tulishatoka, walishafunikwa, sasa wanangorota, meaning that after they ditched their record label, it went into slumber and eventually died. According to 𝙏𝙗𝙖, he faced many challenges at Grandpa Records, but never provided exact details. On the other hand, Refigah said that he fired 𝙏𝙤𝙧 is second in power because he was lazy, dishonest, and unreliable, something that 𝙏𝙤𝙧 said was a tactic to tarnish his name. 𝙏𝙤𝙧 later gave out his reasons why he quit the label, saying the real reason he left the record label was because he felt oppressed while at the stable. He also said that many labels were pretending to sign artists, yet they were not genuine. 𝙏𝙤𝙧 was not done with Grandpa Records, and in December 2016, he made this video cussing out all the artists that were signed to Grandpa Records.
Tuheshimu industry mazee. You know what? DNA, 𝙏𝙗𝙖, Kiddies, everybody. I'm gonna do my thing. Off.
Grandpa Records was not happy with this video, and in the same month, the record label threatened to sue him. First, the record label claimed 𝙏𝙤𝙧 had an alleged debt of 134,000 Kenyan shillings. The record label also issued a demand letter to 𝙏𝙤𝙧 to cease and desist from making statements regarding the record label and its creative director, Refigah. Fast forward to 2023, Kasipul, who was also part of Grandpa, revealed why 𝙏𝙤𝙧 and 𝙏𝙗𝙖 music careers ended. According to Kasipul, 𝙏𝙤𝙧 and 𝙏𝙗𝙖 were too proud after they became famous, and this resulted in their downfall.
𝙏𝙤𝙧 na 𝙏𝙗𝙖 walikuwa at some point walikuwa disrespectful. Aje walifika kiwango ustayle waingia kichwa, wakaanza kuvimba kama kiboko. Nikaambia Refigah, watoto toa mkono wawache. Na kweli tangu watolewe mkono, ndugu yangu, wanaona shida ndugu yangu. Wakiwa Grandpa walikuwa wanavaa viatu mpya kila siku. Sasa hii boxer haziko zinanuka.
𝙏𝙤𝙧, as expected, responded and said this about Kasipul and Oga Obinna.
Na ngaona hao vijana wawili wameketi chini baada ya kunyonya vizuri, wanaongea juu yangu. Kasipusi anajua box yangu inanuka. Kasipusi juaje? Ulijuaje Kasipusi? Oga Odinya.
Anyway, Dufla Diligon and 𝙏𝙗𝙖 Ideal also followed suit and quit the label, but they also refused to reveal details as to why they left. Dufla surfaced in 2018 during this interview on 10/10 and said he quit Grandpa Records because his contract had ended.
Yeah, naongelea tu kunihusu kwa sababu najua siwezi jua wengine, kila mtu ana reason yake. Yeah. Mimi as in contract yangu iliisha na hatukuwa na plan yote ya kurenew contract. So na unajua lazima maisha yaendelee. Si ati kusema Grandpa bado imeisha, Grandpa bado yuko anaendelea na kazi. Ni contract yangu iliisha na hatukuwa na mipango yote ya kurenew, so nikaendelea mimi. Yes, haya.
So ni contract ilisha, no.
Contract ya hakuna ubaya.
No problem.
Yes, haya.
Hakuna beef
for the blogs.
For the blogs.
Yeah.
For blogs.
Dufla was desisting from tainting the image of Refigah and Grandpa Records because this was the record label that molded him and boosted his musical career. This was evident in 2015 and 2016 when Dufla dominated the Kenyan music industry with his hit songs like Tempo and Biringisha, which were all produced by Grandpa Records. 𝙏𝙗𝙖 Ideal also kept silent for a while, but she revealed during an interview with Mpesa in 2018 that her contract ended and she was not ready to renew her contract with Grandpa Records.
My contract ended.
Really?
Yes.
And okay, are you going to keep it that simple? Because I know there's more to that, you know? Because we've also seen also Dufla left.
Yeah.
Remember, 𝙏𝙗𝙖 Ideal also had a big song called 𝙏𝙗𝙖, courtesy of Grandpa Records, which had a remix featuring 𝙗𝙗𝙧. After 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙑 and Dufla left the record label, now many people claimed that it was dead, but Refigah strongly dismissed those claims. He added that Grandpa Visions is bigger than any individual, and whoever feels bigger than the stable was free to walk away. The mass exodus of artists from Grandpa Records was a shocker, and Refigah became a subject of blame and criticism from his own artists and a section of the public. The drama and accusations did not stop Grandpa Records from launching new projects. Refigah still opened a branch in Rwanda as a way to enlarge the label services to artists and other partners across East Africa. Refigah even rebranded the recording label, and in 2017, Grandpa Records acquired a new face. During the rebranding, Grandpa Records unleashed a new logo, a new slogan, and the label's vision. A year later, after relaunching the record label, Refigah switched to real estate. On Instagram, the record label's account posted the new houses they were renting. The apartments were called Grandpa Suites, but it was not clear whether the houses belonged to Refigah or it was a partnership. In 2019, Grandpa Records faced a major setback when it was robbed and 1.5 million worth of equipment was stolen. The break-in happened at night, and the thugs walked away with recording equipment that took the label years to acquire. In an interview on Citizen TV, Refigah said it was time for him to transition to other things. He had spent 23 years in the music industry, and he felt that it was time for him to quit. He was now in the process of bringing a new team on board to take the record label to the next level, as Refigah was taking part in charity activities in Kibra.
Mimi technically nilichukua break kutoka kwa mziki 3 years ago. Technically, but officially nili announced last year.
Yes.
What happened is ndoto ni nyingi.
Kweli.
Ndoto ni nyingi na nimekuwa kwa industry. Nilingia hapo nikiwa 17 years old. Nimekaa kwa hii game almost 23 years old.
Ala?
Yes.
Nyoma iskuma.
Yes, nimekaa kwa hiyo game sana na nimefeel I've contributed my 1 cent in the industry. Nimeweza kutoa industry from this point to the other point na nikaanza.
There were speculations that Refigah was taking a step back from music to concentrate on a political career, which was true, because in 2022, Refigah was running for a Member of Parliament seat in Kibera. In a statement, Refigah said his aim was to deliver to the people of Kibra, but sadly the people of Kibra ended up voting for another person. Anyway, away from Refigah, what happened to the artists of Grandpa Records after quitting the record label? Let's start with 𝙏𝙗𝙖, Mr. Dreams. After quitting Grandpa Records, 𝙏𝙗𝙖 resurfaced in 2018 with a diss track called Kapinye, which targeted DJ Pinye. In the song, 𝙏𝙗𝙖 raps about how DJ Pinye let the industry down as he was arrogant and he sabotaged the careers of many Kenyan artists. When the song was released, it got people talking, some praising the song while others claiming the song was unnecessary, because at that time, DJ Pinye was irrelevant and this was just an attempt by 𝙏𝙗𝙖 to make a musical comeback. Fast forward to 2024, where 𝙏𝙗𝙖 released a freestyle called Aha. 𝙏𝙗𝙖 is also a content creator and he oftenly posts content on his YouTube and TikTok accounts. Our next artist is 𝙏𝙗𝙧. Now, rapper 𝙏𝙗𝙧 ended up broke and homeless, and this is according to multiple interviews the artist was doing online. For instance, during this interview with Tuko in 2021, 𝙏𝙗𝙧 opened up about his homeless situation, not forgetting how broke he was. According to 𝙏𝙗𝙧, things were not easy, as he was kicked out of his house after failing to pay rent for 5 months, a move that left his wife and kids out in the streets.
Matime, so kaa tunadai kulala, tulikuwa tunazitoa, tunazipanga hivi, alafu si wote wawili tunalala kwa hii kitu, tunajifinya hapa, tunadoze hadi asubuhi.
𝙏𝙗𝙧 blamed mzazi Willy Mtuva for his troubles, saying he is a pretender, and he also refused to play his music on radio.
What did William Tuva do to you?
Me, I don't like him. I don't like Tuva. Period.
What did he do to you?
He's a pretender. Yeah. And I don't like him. I don't like pretenders. I don't like someone who calls me and tells me, you are the biggest producer in Central Africa. Don't tell me that if you don't mean it. You get? And then brother went ahead, akachukua my laughter. You see that laughter? Yeah. And my performance track. Akaenda akaregister Skiza. So mi napigia Mtuva, the first thing I hear is me. You get?
And you're not aware.
I'm not aware.
Anyway, Visita is back making music, and he has a new song with 𝙏𝙗𝙖 called 24 Strong. And it is a good song. Let's talk about 𝙏𝙗𝙖. 𝙏𝙗𝙖, on the other side, has been releasing music regularly. He even released an album called Better Man in 2023, which featured artists like Swat Matire, K4 Kanali, and others. And just like the husband, so soon is also making music, and this year she was in this cypher called the Number One Cypher, which had several new artists like Alma, Babi, and Tulia. Another artist, Majirani, seems to have taken a break from making music, and he ventured into business. As per his Facebook posts, he now works as an agent connecting workers with prospective employers. Kiddies still makes music, the latest one being this track called Nakungoja, which was released in 2023. He also performs in major events and parties. Dufla Diligon is also making music, and he has a song called Arufu featuring X-Ray, which was also released in 2023. And in 2021, Dufla and KRG also began a show called Ofrada, which was pretty entertaining and a good show. Finally, out of all the stories of the artists who quit Grandpa Records, the story of Dogo Biggie hurt the most. In case you don't remember who this guy was, Dogo Biggie was featured in the song Fimbo ya Pili. He also had other songs like Moyo Wangu and Amani Kenya. In 2022, this video surfaced online of Dogo Biggie looking drunk in the streets of Kisumu, and it is alleged that Biggie was wallowing in poverty. And I hope that Dogo Biggie is currently doing okay. And thank you for watching this video. Let's meet on the next video.